The grand finale has finally begun. That means 3 more days, ending on December 3rd at about 11 a.m. Eastern. We have new Warbonds coming through. Right here, confirmed by the email. The finale brings the return of every patch bundle from this year. Okay, great. Plus, new Warbond daily deals featured each day starting today with the Drake Ironclad and RSI Constellation Andromeda. How interesting is that? So it looks like they're going to have 3 separate days worth of brand new Warbond CCUs added to the store. Let's explore now. And here we have it. Just like the email said, we've got the Ironclad. This is a $40 discount off of a concept ship price. This is about as good as it gets, folks. I know it's a high price ship, and if you're not looking to go that high, it probably doesn't help you much. But as far as discounts go, $40 off of a concept ship is pretty awesome. Looks like we've got 2 solid choices here with the C2 and the Reclaimer. Nothing below that because it's a hull limited concept, and price drop below that, you'd be adding more money to your payment. So let's check out the CCU game app to see if the C2 or the Reclaimer is a better bet. So this is the Ironclad's first Warbond available. I think the Ironclad Assault had one previously. I'm sure it had one because it was a killer discount. It's just not listed here. I don't remember if the Ironclad had one, so I can't correct it if it's not listed here. But let's just say it's its first one, so that's a good thing, especially at this dollar price point here. First up, we'll check the Reclaimer. It's had quite a few over its lifespan, but it doesn't seem to come back very often. Although, if you picked it up earlier this year, right, then you've got it in your hangar and you're ready to go. And this will make a perfect jump from the Ironclad to the Reclaimer. So here we have the C2, and it comes around quite often, at least once a year, sometimes 4 times a year, apparently. What is it in 2024? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 times in 2024. 2025 has been a little lackluster. It's only been around once. 2023 had 2, and then 2022 had 3. So it hits the game all the time. Between these 2, the Reclaimer and the C2, I'm probably going to lean towards the C2, right? The Reclaimer was best in show last year. So, I mean, if y'all don't remember the Flying Purple Ship Eater song.
I saw it descend from the sky. Its rumble was loud and ominous. Could not believe my lying eyes. It set in upon its feast. The grinding teeth were ravenous. It's a large hull, Ironclad, flying purple spaceship eater. A large hull, Ironclad, flying purple spaceship eater.
But other than that, the C2 comes around way more often, and I'm going to lean towards the C2. Again, we're talking about starting the game now. You don't have any Warbonds, but you're looking to get to the Ironclad. I would bet on the C2 versus the Reclaimer. Watch the Reclaimer come up tomorrow. That'll happen. Next up, of course, we do have that Connie Andromeda. Now, this is at a weird price point, which makes it not so great of a purchase, okay? Now, again, if you don't have any and you're trying to get to a higher price ship for a discount, I get the draw to want to kind of jump on this Connie for a $20 discount, get something like the Hurricane and call it a day for $10. But the reality is that at this price point, at $240, it really limits what chain you can put this into, right? So if you wanted to do a gap fill from the Connie Andromeda to something like the Guardian or the Max or the 400i or either of the Ares and even the Corsair, okay, any of the $250 ships, you could do that. But the problem here is if you grab this thing, $20 discount is pretty good. And then you go to the Hurricane. Well, below the Hurricane, you got a long way to one of these recent Warbonds. I mean, the Taurus has had a few, so that'd be another gap fill. So you're building in additional $20 worth of gap fills just to get it to a $250 ship, right? And the other thing is, if you remember when the Meteor had its Warbond earlier in IAE, it dropped down to the Cuddy Steel, which is below the price point of the Connie Andromeda. So you would effectively skip this entire price point if you went with the Cuddy Steel to all the way to the Meteor. So with that gap, it's kind of pointless at this price point. Any $240 ship is, unless there's a weird, if I don't know, like a $10 for $5 discount MSR or something. Like I think I have a hoplite to MSR in my hangar. So I suppose something like that might work out. So if they give a not so great Warbond discount to the MSR or any of the $260 ships for that matter, I suppose then it would work. But I mean, we just had one from the Meteor that went all the way down here to the Cuddy Steel. So that's what we would want to get at this high level, effectively skipping the entirety of the $240 price point. But having said all that, this is still a $20 discount. And if it fits into one of your chains, I would go ahead and just grab the Hurricane to maximize the discount here. I wouldn't bother going with any of the others because it's an immediate $10 drop, and then a concept ship, and then a no use ship, and then again the same $10 drop, and then another concept ship, and then another $15 drop. None of these are good options here. So I would just call the Hurricane the one to go with, and that's about it. All right, so I'm a little bit frustrated that the Andromeda was the one that they picked because it's in that weird price point, but I'm also pretty upbeat that they're going to have 6 new Warbonds from today until the end. Well, 4 more plus the ones we got today, of course. So that's ending on a good note, I suppose. The other kind of sour note, though, is the referral rewards. Now that they've kind of set the price barrier limit to start a CCU chain at kind of like the $100 range, right? Because there's no real discounts below that. We're going to have at least like a $60 to $70 gap fill, basically from the $40 like Dragonflies and Noxus 45 and maybe a Steve or something, right? All the way up to something like the Clipper, right? Clipper and Shiv at 135. So, I mean, that's a pretty big gap fill. So if you wanted to get a discount on something like a Clipper, right? We're talking, what, $15 for the Warbond CCU to the Clipper, and below it, let's say you had just a Dragonfly or a Steve at $40. So your net $55 savings off of a $135 ship, you're still netting somewhere around $30, depending on which actual referral reward you had, and or which actual ship you started with. Maybe you just went to the Wolf Alpha or something, and you didn't get a Warbond for it, Warbond CCU for it. But like there's really a $70 gap that I hope that they fill somehow, but it doesn't look like they're going to. And with the new addition of the non-LTI referral reward that is ridiculously locked down, like you can't apply a paint, you can't CCU from it to something else, and it's again like it's only a 10-year insurance. I hope that changes. But if we see something like that on the next round of referral rewards, folks, effectively what they're saying is we have a price barrier to entry, and that's going to be starting around the $100 mark minimum, probably around the 115 mark. So basically what that means for us, folks, is that the Cuddy Black is entry to a CCU chain. After that, there's still plenty of discounts to get, depending on what ship you're going to. Just count on sinking money in the beginning for any of our CCU chains. We should expect, again, a minimum of something like a $70 gap fill for any referral reward. And that's if they actually make it CCUable. They did not with the Star Kitten. So keep that in mind as well. And I'm bringing this up because we do have what used to be considered an LTI token. We've got a few of them in the store. And because that kind of barrier to entry at 135 with the Clipper, maybe 105 with the Wolf, I'm going to bring up a long list of possible LTI tokens for you to use. And remember, these will all be meltable because you're buying a ship versus using a referral reward, which is kind of the safe way to go. And a lot of people prefer that method. So without further ado, we have the MDC. This is a little ground vehicle that is actually pretty awesome. Just remember to not leave it on when you go into a bunker mission if you're going to leave it in your ship. That tends to not go well. Not well at all. We have the Salvation at 55. We've got the Golem Ox, $80. We've got 105 Alpha Wolf. We've got the Clipper, and we have the Shiv as well. Could all be considered an LTI token at this point, right? It's a $15 discount for the Shiv and the Clipper. These are both $135. That's an okay discount, I guess. I'm hoping that folks still have from the original LTI tokens that were all under $60, right? Up into like this class of ship. So what that means is basically we're looking at the C1 Spirit. I mean, the Alpha Wolf is actually cheaper, right? So the Cuddy Black, like any of these lead to the Clipper. So that's what we're going to be looking for nowadays, guys. Anything that can get us to something like the Cuddy Black or the C1 Spirit, because then we can jump off into the rest of our CCU chains. So keep that in mind as you're building chains. It's going to get a little bit more expensive. Expect at least a $70 gap fill up front. But look, if you're only going to a $200 ship, there's only so much of a discount you're going to be able to get nowadays. You're not going to be able to get $5 all the way there on every $15 increment or something, averaging it out, of course, right? It's just not going to happen. So expect another $70 going into just about every ship that's beyond the Clipper is my guess, or below the, beyond the Clipper, right? I suppose if you still bought something like the Salvation and you were only going to something like a Gladius, the gap fill is a little bit less, but definitely still a gap fill, and the discount's not as great. I don't mean to end on a sour note, because there was definitely some good that came out of this particular IAE event. There were some good discounts. They made it known that they were going to have some price increases on some ships, so we were given the opportunity to get in at a lower price point on those, and we can speculate to bridge a larger gap up there with a $5 concept, which is also a good deal. So all in all, it was a mixed bag, this IAE. It wasn't a bummer. I know there was a lot of downer last year for IAE. This one was better. I mean, arguably, sure, but I think it was better this year. And again, we still have 2 more days to see what else they're going to throw our way. And I'll be there to bring you more info and analysis on the CCU game during those days. That's it for this one, guys. Zi-Tek, out.
Saw it descend from the sky. Its rumble was loud and ominous. Could not believe my lying eyes. It set in upon its feast. The grinding teeth were ravenous. It's a large hole, Ironclad flying purple spaceship eater. A large hole, Ironclad flying purple spaceship eater. Nothing left but a rusty hull left in the sand drift. It's a large hole, Ironclad flying purple spaceship eater. A large hole, Ironclad flying purple spaceship eater. When it was done, there was nothing left but a rusty hull left in the sand